I met my husband 28 years ago. I met him over the phone where I worked at the hospital. I had sent him a hot 48-hour notice. And from that day on, it was a blind date. We didn't know, we just talked for hours on the phone. We never met each other until the first date. And he drove up in a Corvette, which I was surprised. And we went out to eat. And from then on, we became engaged a year later and got married and had 3 kids.
My dad was born in Texas. He came over here from Mexico. In his early ages, up to I think about 7 years old, he was in Mexico still. He went back to Mexico. He came back to California and attended school here, high school, both elementary, junior high, and high school. He started in the CNC machines, learned how to, actually started sweeping with one of his bosses. His boss started showing him the ropes on how to program, how to work on the machines and stuff like that. So, my dad still, from that point, he always had a passion for motorcycles, whether it was, street racing or whatever. He had a passion for motorcycles. So when his boss pretty much, closed the business down, my dad started his own thing, which was interfacing with the machines and the computers.
Well, my dad started the business by creating a part for one of his quads when he first bought. It was actually, he had a 3-wheelers, ATCs, but he bought a Banshee, a Yamaha Banshee, 87, and he just didn't like the way they looked. He thought he could create something that would change the industry around. And actually, I got a part here I could show you. He made a part, it's called a Banshee grill. It goes in front of the radiator, and he started painting the front. It had a plastic one, and he'll paint it, do something. And
he actually sold it to Cascade during that time when, we weren't even R.I.S. designs. And from there on, people noticed the product and, asked if we could do a couple other little things. And from there, Banshee pegs, that was the ticket, Banshees.
My dad was in another industry back then, and he had a friend that had a machine to make this. And he came out with the idea, showed it to a company that was big back then, and since '93, that's what started us.
Pegs and hangers and little stuff like that. He went, well, sure, I can start making that. And my dad got his CNC machines, and from there on, 17 years later, we are where we are today. We actually manufacture 850 products.
Over 500 dealers around the world, and now we do everything from ATVs to street bikes to Harleys to cruisers to, man, you name it, we can do it.
And we're actually the only company in the United States manufacturing products for ATVs, sport bikes, metric cruisers, UTVs, and now the Harley Davidsons, and we're still looking to other branches out there.
I do accounting, I do everything. I run errands, phones, everything you could think of. And no, I don't just eat. I control my brothers, right? And I was his chauffeur.
I remember my dad as a strict guy. That's how I remember him, straightforward, no bullshit, no nothing. Just a straight up guy that will tell you how it is right then and there, and that's what I liked about him. That's what I remember. That's how I remember him.
What he taught me is the business, how he ran it and how he was really strong with the kids and running the business, showing them what to do and how to do it.
What I remember most of my dad is just the way he brought us up as a family, just doing things together with him. My dad kept us real close together, so, we would do things like sporting activities, motorcycle riding, which we are in now. To this day, I really appreciate all that stuff now that he taught me all that and kept me in line, because you know, we're able to continue his legacy that he left us and, you know, go on to bigger and better things now.
It was like a good time just being here at work with him, and I still would live at home and I would still see him, but it was just different. Like, it was just me and him time here, and then when he gets home, he relaxed. So I didn't bother him over there, but over here we used to play around. Oh, how we played around. It was just, I'm like his little boy. I wasn't his little girl, I was his little boy. We used to mess around. I can't mess around with anybody here because it's not the same. I try punking my brothers, and it's not the same, but I miss playing around with him.
Well, one of the most important things that my dad taught me was, you know, making sure, you know, pretty much that things come together the right way. You know, not half-fast, make sure you build something that it's gonna be yours.
One of the most important things my dad taught me was your family is always gonna be your family. And that's never gonna change. Through thick and thin, they're always there, no matter what the situation is, so.
I always told my dad that every year we want to make some kind of accomplishment in this business, and I think we're doing that right now. We're pulling closer together. I know my dad. He told us what to do if this ever happened. Now do I expect this to happen like the way it did? I never seen it coming, but we gotta really step up our game, each and every one of our family members, and do this. And I know we can. He taught us well, so. If my dad does, you know, see this and, you know, up there, he knows that I love him, and, you know, we're going to make him proud.
And we're just going to continue with the business, make it stronger for him, just do everything what he wanted us to do.
We took care, me and my brother and my sister will take care over the company. We would start managing it, I mean, years ago already.
My husband and my daughter fired me, so I'm not here no more. But whenever they need me, I'm here.
But my dad would love to be here every day, no matter what. And, you know, since he's not here by our sides, you know, pointing his finger, still yelling at us, it just, you know, you miss a big part of it, you know. And I guess it affects us all because we don't have somebody to go to, you know, the big part of the business. We don't have somebody, you know, to go to and ask, you know, questions and ask what we need, you know, if we need something, you know, opinions, I should say.
He was a very outgoing, fun person. You could talk to him about anything. Me and him, when we would be driving around, we would talk about a lot of things. He was just a good man to be around with, and a good drinking partner too.
We took a ride recently, about 3 months before he passed. We went out to Vegas for a motorcycle show, and he wanted to drive, you know, and my brother was already out there, and he wanted to drive, and I told him, let's ride the bikes, let's ride the Harleys out there. I just finished building his Harley from the ground up, and I go, you know what, let's just take it a long distance ride, let's see what it does. And he said, yeah, you know, I know my dad's condition wasn't the best health, you know, from his previous accidents and all that. And we rode all the way up to State Line, partied all night, and rode all the way back the next day, crudos. You know, a little buzz, but, you know, it was just something I will never forget in my life, man. It's just, we just had the win, and just us two riding next to each other, and had a great ride up there and back.
During the show time when we're, you know, emotions are real high, you know, stakes are real high, and getting these bikes done for this show that we look for every year, you know, he knows how to keep everybody in balance, and not be able to go to his office, which is right across from me. It makes it that much more difficult to not sit down and talk to him and tell him what I feel. I know he hears me out, and sometimes I just close my eyes and, you know, hopefully he embraces me with his presence that way.
It's different coming to work now because I don't have my best friend on the side coming to work. He's usually on the passenger side, joking around. I don't have that anymore. Like I said, I used to, I go and drop off parts and do errands, and there's no one there. I don't have my carpool, like he would say. He was my carpool buddy. It's just different. I walk into his office and it's just lonely, but it's, you know, I don't know. It hurts like everything else, but I could take it, you know. And I'm here to help out my family like my dad taught me, so, and watch over them and take care of them. I have a lot of things for me to be a girl to do for my family, but yeah.
I'm gonna do a tribute bike to him, dedicated just to my dad. It's from old school and new school. You know, I got all his old parts that he created in '93, and I used all the old parts, and I brought the new school in what we do now in 2010. You know, different A-arms, you know, different swing arm, you know, use a lot of chromoly. So I hand fabricated a frame for him, you know, and used some of the old stock stuff, the original stuff, and just went on with that. Went off of that. That's what I'm gonna do for him, and I'm gonna, you know, debut it on Saturday out there on September 18th.
I wish you were here. It's so lonely without you.
You know, I try hard every day. I give my all every day. Even when he was here, I give him the, you know, my everything. And I know he knows that, and I know he knew that when he was here. And, you know, I hope he knows that us four, you know, with my mom, brother, my sister, that we are keeping this business going.
My husband was the greatest. He was a good husband, good father, good son to my in-laws, to his parents. He was just the greatest man in the world. I'll never forget him. And I will always love my babe, which I always called him.
I wish every day I could just hold him one more time and just tell him that I really miss him and I love him.
I love you. Tato loves you. That's what I would tell him.
Who never knew how much I love them? Now I live with the regret that my true feelings for them never were revealed. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show, I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. And I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got a friend in low places. Pero sigo siendo el rey.
Special thanks to Trial Tech, Sparks, ASV, Stellar, Yarnell Specialties, Bellflower Motorsports, DWT, Scat Track, Galfer, Extreme Quad Covers,